Welcome back to Hollywood Dreammaker. I am super excited to introduce my guests. They have their own podcast, Deep Cover, The Real Donnie Brasco. You may know Joe from his best-selling book, the New York Times Bestseller, Donnie Brasco, My Undercover Life in the Mafia. It was made into a hit movie, Donnie Brasco, starring Johnny Depp and Al Pacino. He is the most highly decorated FBI agent in history. He worked 6 years infiltrating the Bonanno Crime Family that led to 174 convictions of organized crime members. The New York Five families put a $500,000 contract out to murder him. Didn't work. He's here with me today. Thank God. Joe was instrumental in forming the FBI undercover program and continues to work as an instructor at the FBI Training Academy in Quantico, Virginia. He's written multiple books. He's among Joe's many awards. He's won the U.S. Attorney General Award, the J. Edgar Hoover Award, and the FBI Medal of Valor. My next guest, Leo Rossi. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer, he's done it all. I mean, to date, he's appeared in 109 movies. Among them are The Accused. Leo co-starred opposite Jodie Foster in her Oscar-winning performance. He also had the lead opposite Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal in Analyze This. He's a producer, he's a writer. I mean, he produced The Father and the Son, The Nail, The Story of Jory Nardone, 10th and Wolf, directed by the Academy Award-winning writer Bobby Moresco.
Who?
Bobby Moresco, Academy Award winner. Listen, guys, welcome to Hollywood Dreammaker. I'm super excited to have you guys on the show. It's been a long, long time. How you guys doing?
Great, Billy, and thanks for having us. Good to see you again. Very good to see you again.
I know you a long time, Billy, a long time. And, we fought the wars together. We got the bullet holes. But I know you're an actor, I'm an actor. But the real Olivier is Mr. Pistone. Because what he did, there was no cut. He never heard cut. It would have been bang, bang.
With a knife.
I got to tell you, you know, as an actor, you prepare. You seriously have to do the work. You have to get into character. You have to become the character. You have to walk the walk. You have to talk the talk. For you, if you forgot your lines, you got whacked. If they didn't buy your acting, you got whacked. So you deserve an Academy Award for your performance. And talk about a method actor. I mean, you were deep cover for 6 years. I mean, you had to learn to be a jeweler. Part of your cover was you were Donnie the jeweler, right?
That's correct, Billy. I was my profession was a jewel thief, and when you do go into a undercover role and you take on a persona, a profession, you have to know it, because that's the first thing that'll get you killed. Is not going in and saying, "Hey, I'm a jewel thief." Oh yeah, well, what's this here? I don't know. So to prepare for being a jewel thief, I went to school, learned about diamonds, precious gems, spent a lot of time with a friendly jeweler, learned about watches, and I became pretty proficient in that field. But, then you have to back up a little bit. And this is where a lot of undercovers fall short. They don't follow through on their profession. If you're a jewel thief, what else do you have to know? You better know how to get through a door. So you got to know locks, you better know alarms, and you better know safes. So the preparation was intense, and several months of learning to become a jewel thief.
Yeah, but that's amazing that you spent that time doing that kind of research, but truly you're like an actor, an actor, how does a wise guy walk? The way of the wise guy, how does he talk? How does he, all of that had to be spot on in order for you to really make yourself believable as one of these, wise guys in the neighborhood.
Well, Billy, I being Italian, I grew up in an all Italian neighborhood. Wise guys in the neighborhood. social clubs, there were a couple social clubs in the neighborhood. So I was accustomed and used to being around wise guys. It wasn't any big deal. And again, you grow up in a neighborhood and you take on the persona of the neighborhood. So, and being Italian, I knew that you only talk when you were spoken to. You mind your own business, and that comes from growing up in that Italian environment. So there wasn't much I had to learn, really, to be honest with you, about gangsters, Italian gangsters, anyway, because I knew guys that were in the mob growing up. The only thing that you don't see in the neighborhood is you don't see the hits, the murders, but you see the swag, you see the gambling, you do stuff like that. So that was an education that I got growing up in the neighborhood.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Paterson, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I shared this story with you when we were in Philadelphia doing. Was it Pittsburgh or Philadelphia?
Pittsburgh was Tent of Wolf.
Tent of Wolf. Yeah. So when we were doing the film in Philadelphia, we had a conversation. I was telling you about my misspent youth a little bit.
Yeah.
And I grew up in that same neighborhood. I grew up in running around Bay Ridge, Bensonhurst in the 80s. Going to I ran away from home when I was 15, and I was kind of running the streets. And those guys, were the guys that I looked up to. That was kind of the life that I wanted. I didn't have a father figure. So the guys on the streets were my father figure, the guys with the caddies and the diamond pinky rings and the double-breasted suits, wise guys. And that was a glamorous life, for me. And one of those guys scooped me under his wing, and, I became an earner, and I was, running around with my crew and stuff like that. And, I truly thought that was a path for me because I didn't know any better. I found like a family, it was a family. It was guys.
Yeah, I was lucky in that, I did have a stable home life. I had a dad and mom, and my father was, he liked to gamble a little bit, and he ran bars and stuff. But he always said, you stay away from those guys. They're down the road. They're not the guys you want to go with. So I was lucky along those lines. Like I said, I had a stable family, and I had a good home structure. But you're right. I mean, other guys in the neighborhood, that didn't have parents together, didn't have a dad, most of them went the other way.
It was glamorous. It was glamorous for me. It was really glamorous till one day, I saw my best friend get shot in the head in front of me 5 times, and it changed my life. And I remember I told you that story, and you told me that you knew, it blew my mind that you knew the family of the guy. You knew you were naming his brother. I mean, you knew all about it because you were in Brooklyn at that time, I guess, and you had infiltrated. You were, watching the neighborhood. So I was blown away that you actually, when I was running around in that little life, but everything changed the moment, when I saw him laying there, bleeding out. That changed my life immediately. I said, that's not what I want to do in my life.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. I mean, look, you see these guys, they don't go to work. They hang around all day. They got money. They got cars. They got the diamond rings. And for a guy that, like I say, if you don't have a structure at home, a family structure at home, you gravitate because, look, they're basically, most of them individually, they're like anybody else, right? Except they're gangsters. I mean, and that's what I try to get across is one of the reasons I think I was successful. I didn't judge anybody. I mean, guys that I hung around with, stone cold killers, but they had kids, they had wives, but they'd kill you in a second. So there's another side that you see, but you don't see. And I had a lot of one-on-one conversations with a couple guys. that, that I know would have killed me in a minute if they thought that I was, if they thought I was an informant or a snitch. But I would sit and talk to them about their kids. I would sit and talk to them about, about the problems that they're having with their own kids. So it's, you got to take each individual. And some guys, they had no moral fiber at all. But then, some of them did. It's just that they got into that life, and yourself. I mean, hanging around with these guys, what's the first thing? The first thing is the mob. The second thing is your family, and then the third thing is your religion, and and your country. But once they get entrenched, the number one thing in their life is the mob.
You know what movie that I think really depicted what you're saying, both of you, is Chaz Palminteri's Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale.
Because the kid was admiring a killer.
Yeah.
And the hero was his father driving a bus every day for 10 hours, 12 hours. And it really showed, and that's why the film, like Donnie Brasco, goes on. And, people keep responding to it, different age brackets,
Yeah.
Hey guys, so my podcast is called Hollywood Dreammaker, and I created it to inspire young artists to follow their dreams. Like if a kid from a broken home from the streets of Brooklyn can, come out to Hollywood with $200 in his pocket and a one-way ticket and make a career out of it, that they can do it too. So I would love to ask you, Leo, how did you get into Hollywood? How did the Hollywood dream? I mean, I was just watching you last night in Gotti. You wrote Gotti, right?
Yeah. The original. Yeah.
There you are sitting next to him in the caddy, and I'm watching it, and I'm going, I wonder, for me, look, I became an actor because when I was 11 years old, they were filming a movie in my neighborhood, and I got a little part. They were filming Nunzio with David Proval, and that was
sure,
a little bit part in that, and when I showed up to the set, I was background. They thought I was one of the other kids, an actor named Glenn Scarpelli. He wasn't there that day. They thought I was him, so they gave me powder, craft services, all this stuff, and I was like, "That's fucking cool," And that's when I got bit by the bug. But a year later, they did Saturday Night Fever in my neighborhood, and John Travolta was coming out of, they were doing the scene where they crash into the Barracuda Club, and they have this fight, and they drag a guy out of the car. So I stayed up to like 4 a.m. watching the stunt, the fights, the whole thing. And, John Travolta came out of his trailer, and he gave me his autograph. And I was like, girls were screaming, Vinnie Barbarino. And I was like, I was 11. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Well, and you know what? It was, when it grabs you like that, and you were looking for, as you say, you saw your buddy, whacked in the street, dying, like they either die in prison or in the streets. There ain't no big, in the sky. But the thing with me is I was always an athlete, and that's what I was. But if a game was on television, I'd turn the sound off and I'd announce it, right? So you saw a little bit of the ham coming out of me, right? And then I love movies. I watch double features. I'll do everything like that. I got a scholarship to Villanova, right? Villanova. Anyway, what happened was the head of the drama department.
Well, wait a minute, Leo. Tell them what your scholarship was for.
It was for football, Joe.
Okay. Well, they might think you went there in a drama,
Oh, no, you're right. Absolutely. You would think that, but I was, in fact, that was something that derailed me. Because David Rabe, a top playwright, screenwriter, was head of the drama department of Villanova.
Wow.
And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, well, wait a minute. I'm going to go up on stage where all those animals, my friends, all the football players, the mooks, hey, Leo, oh, what are you doing? Hey, look at him. Hey, Pop. I didn't have the balls. I did not have the balls. So that, sidetracked me. And then I went to 1-year law school, went to business with my father, My father, 58 years old, never sick a day, and he dropped dead of a heart attack. And, at that time I was going through a marriage that didn't work. So consequently, I said, what turns me on? And I auditioned for a community theater play in Philly, Jewish neighborhood. The theater sat 600 people. I mean, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you were jammed, right? And I did Butterflies Are Free, not the lead. I did the guy that comes on, the ex-boyfriend. I never, ever enjoyed the means to the end like that. I love sitting, breaking a script down, memorizing lines. People say, what? How do you? I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know. And when I went to New York, I had a lot of balls, not too much brains. And everybody said, hey, you got to have a resume. All right, a resume. So I had a couple of actor friends at geeks, and I made a fake resume, okay? Because I only did a couple plays in Philly, community theater. So I go in for this audition, and the director's there, and it was downtown in Manhattan. And he looks, he said, well, and he's looking at my resume. And he said, oh, I see, Clifford Odets, you did Waiting for Lefty. I said, yes, I did.
I know it's coming.
Right? And he said, and you played Lefty. I said, yeah, yep. He said, that must have been some challenge. Oh, I said, it was very Lefty never shows up. That's the whole play. He never shows up. Oh, man. But, you learn. And I think Billy can attest to this. And Joe, you've been around many, many actors, right? If you put a time frame on it, like if I don't make it in 5 years, if I don't make a living in 8 years, then you didn't want it that much.
Yeah, you're wasting your time.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna go.
You got to go all in.
Balls to the wall. Got to do it, man.
You got to be relentless in your pursuit. I mean,
Yeah.
listen,
It's just, and it's not like you're selling rubber bands or you're selling air conditioners. No, you're selling you. You're selling you. That's the product.
You're the product, yeah.
Yeah, you're the product,
You got to know what you're selling too. You got to know what your castability is, what your star power is, what you're going to give, what you're selling to Hollywood, so they know what they're buying.
Yeah, yep. They're looking. Just everybody wants to think that they cast. Since I've been on the producing side, they cast the person that is the character. It's like, yeah, we got that guy. Hey, that's fine, man. Because I always used to in the beginning, when I go into an audition, I went in as the character. Because Joe can attest to it. I'm a nice guy. Billy, I'm a nice guy. You're going in for a killer. I don't want them to see any nice guy Leo. None.
Exactly. You lose them at hello. Hey,
of course, yeah. And they can't get you. You can't get it back. So I come in.
First impressions, right? First impressions.
First impression is everything. You're sitting. They're all sitting, arms folded. So I come in and I was playing a bad dude. Man, I had white coming out of the sides of my mouth. Blah, 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 blah. And he exits. So I go, boom, and I open the door, bing. I walked into the closet. Now I'm in a closet. How do I come out of a closet as the bad guy?
Kick your way out, Leo.
I kick my
That's awesome.
Oh man, it's all good. Joe and I, we're having, he's done many interviews and A&E, millions, right? And what we've done on this, which I know him very, very well, 20 some years.
How'd you guys meet?
Yeah, we're friends. And
how'd you guys meet?
Oh, how'd we meet?
Yeah.
Joe. Another name comes up. Tell him, Joe.
Well, Billy, our friend Robert Maresco, right?
Yes, I do. Very well.
Well, after my movie, Donnie Brasco, they wanted to make a TV show, and CBS, and they brought him on board Bobby Maresco and Kenny Solars to be the writers and showrunners. And so I spent a lot of time with Bobby and Kenny, and I'm out in California at Bobby's house and doing he's writing the pilot. And one day Leo comes over and Bobby said, Leo, I'd like you to read for this character, which was a crooked lawyer. But before that, we're talking and you know how you BS around and everything. So after it's all over, Bobby says, what do you think? I says, I like Leo, but he talks too fucking much. And that was it. We became, really good friends since then. And we've done, he did Falcone. We did Tent and Wolf. We did,
my God, we did the Wise Gal up in Canada, right?
Yeah, we shot a movie, Wise Gal, up in Canada. We did a one-man play.
Bonanno, right?
Yes.
Pardon? Yeah. We did Leo did we had a one-man play where Leo played me.
Who played Sonny Black in that?
I played Sonny Black.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, it was great, man.
Michael Madsen played in Donnie Brasco.
Yeah. And that's it. We stayed friends ever since. Yeah. Now we got the podcast.
That's amazing.
We've been having good times with the podcast. I saw you, when I tuned in and stuff like that. If you really, get involved and know you're talking to somebody, it's like, wow. And Joe, I don't pull away from questions with him. I ask him straight out because
what tough questions you've asked him? Well, ask him a tough question right now.
Ask him a tough question now. Okay. Joe, did you ever go on a hijacking?
Well, I ran with a hijacking crew.
Okay. It's the great thing that he has done, Billy, you said getting into character and everything like that, and that's what we have to do. Joe, from the get-go, what do you call a legend, Joe? You got to build a legend.
Legend, yep.
Legend, right?
What is that? A history of the character?
Yeah, that's your background, who you are.
Okay.
And he didn't want that to be any different, except for jewel thief as opposed to FBI. But he didn't want that to be any different than his likes, right? Your dislikes, your the way you carry yourself. You were really Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco, one and the same, except for the deep cover aspect and all that. And that way you're not going to screw up. If you try to be a tough guy, you're going to get found out in 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, you guys, look, Leo, you're from Philly. Billy,
Brooklyn.
You're from Brooklyn. You're a street kid. Who's got better BS barometers than street guys?
Nobody.
Right? Nobody. So you have to be yourself and be honest with you. I was myself, other than saying I was a jewel thief, but my personality, let me put it this way, I never changed my personality. Yeah. It was the same personality as always.
Well, that's what I say for actors. You want to bring your soul to the character. You want to bring your truth to the character. So that's exactly what you did. You didn't, try to be somebody else. You were you. You brought your soul, but you were playing the role of Donnie.
Exactly.
So I love that.
Yeah. To hear, since on the one-man show, Billy, we just said, Billy plays Sonny Black, who was the capo to Joe when Joe was Donnie Brasco. And it was really great because Sonny Black liked what, Joe? Pigeons, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if the audience knows this, but Mr. Gallo is also a magician. And when we needed, we said, where are we going to get pigeons, right? For the one-man show.
Yep.
And he comes up with these things. They look like pigeons to me, but what were they, doves?
They were doves, yeah.
Who gives a...
That's right. Oh yeah. It brings back great memories. Yes.
Oh, man.
No, I've been blessed. I've had the opportunity to work with you guys. Well, let's see. There was 10th and Wolf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where I played Provenzano, a Sicilian hitman.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Nail, the story of Joey Nardone, where I played a Dominican alcoholic abusive father.
Yes, you did, and you kicked shit. You kicked the ass out of that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the toughest roles I ever had in my life. Now let me ask you a question. You were there in my audition, right?
Oh yeah.
So why'd you guys cast me?
Here's the thing. I respected you as an actor before that, So, but there's a lot of people in that room, right? And when you came in, saw something that I hadn't seen in you before. And, you can create danger, but this guy was really dangerous. And we know that he had to have that mercurial personality, that bing, he could fuss like that. And we saw it. And when you came in, and I remember this, your first audition there, right? When you left, you slammed the door. And the casting went, oh my God. And I said, beautiful, beautiful. And we had a couple other wonderful actors and everything. But like Joe said, first impressions, you were there for us. And this is for other actors out there that are young and stuff. You were working with an actress, Diana Torres, right?
Dayanara Torres, yeah.
Yeah, Dayanara Torres. And she really wasn't a trained actor. And she was a very fragile sort because she had gone through a horrible divorce with Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
And so, as an actor, you got to do this character and you got to go to places. And, you're a pro, you would never hurt her, right? But you have to go down deep. And she was genuinely, since she didn't know the craft, she was terrified of you. And I ain't about to go up to her and say, no, he's a great guy. No. And if anybody sees the movie, it's called The Nail, the story of Joey Nardone. You will see Billy create a character that you will say, great job of acting, because he is a nasty son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this goes on and on and on.
Sure.
And an interesting thing, casting, Joe's nephew, right? And his name is Joe Pistone, trained actor, wonderful kid, right? So, in fact, he was in 10th and Wolf. He played one of the young gang, like that. So Joe says, well, what do you think? What's in it for, for Joe, his nephew? I said, I don't know, man. It's, there's really nothing right. I mean, I don't know. And he says, I'll let him read it. So he reads it. And there was a part, it was written as a black retarded kid who was always just with the boombox.
Oh, he did a great job in that. Yeah.
Yeah, sweetest kid in the world. And he said, he called me and he said, I love that part. Can I test for it? Now, a producer who wasn't an actor would say, he's black. If a kid related to it and he's a trained actor the way he did, I said, sure, man, put yourself on tape. Now, I didn't know what he was going to come up with. Blew us away. He was terrific, right, Joe?
What he
Yeah.
did, he changed your mind. Okay, hey guys,
Yes.
I got a little treat for you.
Yep.
Okay? I want to introduce somebody. A guy you might know. His name is Bobby Moresco.
Oh, boy.
Introduce
Where
Academy
is he?
Award-winning writer Bobby Moresco. Bobby, welcome to Hollywood Dreammaker again.
Well, thank you, Billy.
Hey, there he is.
I had to jump on the line, and whatever these guys said about me, I deny it.
Oh, you do? It was all
It's all good.
positive.
It's all good. It's all positive.
It was all
Great
positive.
to see all three of you. What's
Yeah.
up, Giuseppe?
Nothing. You got a little snow up there, huh?
It's amazing. I got 4 kids outside snowing it all up now. I gave them hot chocolate. That's what I paid them.
a big Academy Award winner giving the kids hot chocolate for shoveling snow.
Yeah, speaking of Academy Award, is that your Oscar on your shelf over there?
That's the Oscar back there.
What
That's
else you got over there? You got a few more on the other side.
on the other side is the BAFTA, the Writers Guild, and the Independent Spirit Award.
Billy, he goes.
How many of those does Leo have, Billy? How many of those does Leo have?
He goes to sleep with them. He puts them up on these little things. Oh, geez. Oh, God.
Hey, you know what?
Hey,
I would
Billy.
too. I'd be cuddling next to it at night.
Hey, Billy.
This is my office. This is my office. I don't sleep in here.
Billy, isn't this great? The name of your podcast. You got Leo Rossi from Philly, right? You got Bobby Moresco, a Westie. You got Billy Gallo, a Brooklyn guy, and you got Joe Pistone from the streets of Paterson, New Jersey. Now, where can you get a better dream? Guys fulfilling their dream coming from where we came from, right?
Problem.
I'll tell you what my dream is, that somebody don't walk here and lock us both up.
That's right.
You know,
I gotta tell you.
I understand why Leo thought I slept in my office, because that's what he does. I've seen his writing.
I'll tell you something, but I can see that your armor is chipping from New York. I can see LA is coming back in the background.
Billy, I'm sorry to interrupt your podcast. Please forgive me.
You're not interrupting. I'm so glad you could jump on with us.
Now, Bobby, yesterday you said that you had to cut off the phone call. We were talking because the Actors Studio. Tell me about that.
I'm a lifetime member of the Actors Studio. Grateful to be. It's a wonderful place, as you know. And with everybody shutting down, the theater itself has been shut down. They asked me to do a couple of, for lack of a better word, seminars twice a week. One, we're developing a play called on demagogues and demagoguery in America, and throughout our history. And then I do a series of Q&As on writing, directing, and producing for television, screen, and theater.
Do you have to be a member to participate?
You do, Billy, but if you want to do it, and I'll ask permission, and I bet they'd let you jump in. So anytime. Don't tell Leo or Joe though, because
I won't tell them.
they'll scare all those artists.
It's that's something. As Billy, as we're looking at Billy right now, we see the theater in the background.
Wonderful.
It's very difficult, and you're right there in New York where the pulse. I mean, the comeback really, it's a tough one.
You know, it's just going to take a little time, Leo, like anything else. You know, every theater company that I know is doing what the studio is doing, which is as much as they can on Zoom. I'm not the only one giving seminars. There's lots of wonderful people. I think 5 days a week, they're filling it up with great artists, sharing what they can on Zoom. That's what we can do. So that's what we do.
Yeah. I talked to a friend who's he books rock and roll acts. And I said, well, what they say, 25% capacity? He said, Leo, it's a 100,000 seat stadium. You have 25,000 people instead of 100,000. My production costs are the same.
Exactly. Hold on one second. The guys who are shoveling the snow are calling me. Hold on.
The hot chocolate got cold.
How about that?
Let's go. I gotta move my car. Hey, listen, Billy, be careful with these guys, okay? When you finish the podcast, check your pockets.
Robert Maresco.
Bye-bye.
All right, goodbye, love.
Send my love to the family. God bless.
Okay, I love you guys. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Good surprise, Billy.
Yeah, you pulled one over on us.
You guys you didn't see it pop up, his name? Because I saw it on my end. I was going, can they
No, I
see it?
didn't see it.
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it. That's great. Yeah, but and Bobby's guys, Joe's a great storyteller. Bobby's a great storyteller. And we were doing a movie in Montreal, and Bobby's got a friend, PR Paul Rosenbaum. Started out as an actor. Now he's a wealthy entrepreneur, right? And Bobby told a story. We're at a big dinner table, right? Bobby told the story. Then Chaz told the story. Then PR Paul tried to come in with a story. And Chaz said, this was the major leagues. We can't have minor leaguers in here, you know. But yeah, it was cool, man.
Hey, Joe, you said something, that really struck a chord with me. You said, here's a guy, a Westie, we got, a Philly guy, we got a New Jersey guy, we got a Brooklyn boy. They were all, neighborhood kids, that had a dream, okay? That had this dream in us. And we pursued it. We went after the dream and achieved the dream, So if you're out there and you're listening, if you have this dream in your heart, if this is your passion and this is what you want to do, then go after it, and go after it like you mean it, with a vengeance. Go after it with all your heart. And it's a bumpy road and it's a roller coaster ride, but it's a beautiful journey. And if that's your passion, then follow it and go after it like you friggin' mean it.
Exactly right. I mean, I always knew I wanted to be in law enforcement. And I started out, I took the police exam. I was a senior in college. I came out the number 2, but I would have had to drop out of college in order to go to the academy, the police academy. And, I didn't want to do that. So I finished, and then the FBI had requirements that I didn't, I didn't fulfill, because you had to have 3 years experience after you got out of college in a supervisory capacity. So I applied for the Navy, got in there, spent 2 years there, and then applied for the FBI. And with the FBI, the acceptance rate is astronomical. I mean, the exam is off the charts to get in, the test to get in. But I didn't shy away from it. I mean, I didn't shy away from it. I took the exam. I was lucky enough to pass, passed the orals, passed the written, passed the psychologicals, and I got accepted. Now, fast forward 17 years later, after all my undercover endeavors, I resigned from the FBI after 17 years. I was out for 3 years, and then I wanted to go back. So now I had to reapply. All right. So, and follow your dream in your heart, what you want. Now, Billy, I'm 50 years old. 50 years old. I get accepted back in at 50. And I got to go through an 18-week training course going against 23 to 28-year-olds at 50.
That's amazing.
Sons of bitches. Jesus, Joe.
And that included all the physical endeavors that you have to go through.
but that's true perseverance and persistence. And,
Yeah.
know,
Well, yeah,
believe-
but like you said, if you want something, you persevere and you follow it and you'll get it done. And you'll get it done.
I think something that probably anybody out there listening, we probably know this by now or surmise this. Joe, when he was in the Navy, was in naval intelligence. I was in the Army and I was a cook. Now, what does that say? There you go.
Hey guys, if you could go back, right, and give the younger you, right, some advice, some life advice, some golden nugget, what would it be?
Well, I think you had the correct word, perseverance, and have a plan. Have a plan. Know what you want to do, and then have a B plan. You might not get to the A plan in the time that you want to get there, but have a plan B that you can follow while you're still trying to achieve plan A. But you have to have a plan in life on what you want to do and where you want to get to in life.
My father said, plan your work and work your plan. That's
Yep.
it. Yep. It's, and it's interesting in our business, show business. Joe's been involved in show business. You say you're going to hang out with people after a movie or something like that. Hey, yeah, well, we'll do lunch, we'll do this. But you start to gravitate to people that you really feel comfortable with because of their principles, because of their work ethic, you know what I'm saying? And because they're good people. In every facet of life, there's not a lot of good people, There's a lot of good people, but if you start to, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't do any business in my house. I'll go out, I'll go to the animal farm, Beverly Hills. I'll do what I have to do. But anybody comes into my house, I want them there. They are there because they're my friend, not because what they can do for me,
Beautiful. It's about, it's really truly who you surround yourself with. I mean, it's about relationships. Hollywood's about relationships. It's about, listen, the reason, I feel blessed, that I've worked with Bobby on a bunch of projects and work with you guys on a bunch of projects because it's relationships. You got to be, you got to like the guy. You got to want to work with him. We're going to work long hours together. We're going to spend 16-hour days and months. And, you want to have people that are on the same wavelength, the same page. I've worked on a lot of projects with actors that, they thought who they were, and it was a friggin' nightmare working with somebody like that, so it's really surrounding yourself with the right people and building those relationships.
God rest his soul, Dennis Farina, who was a great friend of mine, good friend of Joe's. He turned down this movie role, and I won't say the lead actor, right? He met him. I said, "You turned that down?" He said, yeah. I said, "Why?" He said, "Life's too short." And that was it. He wasn't he was a copper on the street for 20 years. Ended up a detective. Life's too short because you see attitudes in this business. I know why actors get a bad name. Some of the behavior is, and I used to step in. And then my agent told me, "You're not your brother's keeper. You want to work in this town? Everybody else got to fight their own battles. You got to be tough." And, yet you still have to keep that creative juices going. I wouldn't do anything else in this whole world.
You got to create your own stuff, man. You're an actor, but then you got into producing, you got into writing, that's what you have to do. You got to create your own projects. You got to be, you can't wait for somebody to knock on a door and go, "Hey, we want to put you in a movie." You got to create your own movie. You got to write your own script. You got to create your own project.
You have to be your own advocate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Joe, let me ask you a question, Joe. So, coming from that world, the mob and New York and the Mafia and stuff like that, and dealing with that world, how was the, going into the Hollywood world. I mean, you know, that's a different, that's a gang too, you know, Hollywood's a gang. You know, how was it going from the streets to Hollywood? You know, how about working with Al Pacino and having Johnny Depp playing you in the movie? I mean, what was that whole Hollywood thing? How did that work out for you?
Well, I never had problems with actors. I had problems with a couple of producers, and I had to tell one executive producer one time, don't mistake my kindness for weakness, because you'll be sadly disappointed when you find out that it's not. But I found that with Hollywood executives, I'd rather deal with the mob, because the mob lets you know that they're mobsters. You know, the executives, they hide behind the fact that they're executives and they're mobsters underneath. You know, I mean, you know what kind of monster I'm talking about, you know, just not nice people.
Sure. And that's proved out pretty in the last 3 or 4 years. That's proved out pretty clear, hasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Man.
There are some monsters in this business, you know.
Yeah. You know, and they say that I think Hollywood needed an enema and it got it. You know, a lot of the dead wood is gone, you know. But yeah, man, it's great hanging out with you, babe. I mean, it's when I live in the wine country now. I'm not probably the best place for me, but when I'm in town, we will get together. We'll get Costanzo.
Yeah.
We'll get Nicky Malay, and when everybody's flying around, Joe will be coming out here because we got a couple things on the fire.
You got Bobby's number? Because I was thinking I want to get Bobby. I know Bobby and I worked on way.
Yeah.
You know, when I first came out to Hollywood, Bobby and I did a movie together. So,
He is, yeah. I'll get you his number. He hasn't changed an iota.
I know, but Bobby's real deal. I mean, I remember when I saw Saturday Night Fever, and he, you know, it was in Saturday Night Fever.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Yeah. I met him at Emilio's bar in the Village, right? And I was there with a date, and I'm there. And he must have sensed I was an actor. You know, I hadn't done too much, but I had a play that I did downtown. It was pretty good received. But he's there, and I put my money on the bar, and he would just keep shuffling around, not take any. Right? I said, and I was struggling for money about then too, you know? So I appreciated that. And then I said, you're an actor too, right? He goes, yeah. I said, we're curious as actors, right? Now, Bobby, he's a portly guy, would you say?
yeah, a little bit.
Bobby's got a La Banse, right? So I said, Bobby, why do you have your belt? You got the buckle on the side. You got the buckle that you hook your belt on the side. He said, because I'm a bartender. I said, I don't understand. He said, no, if you put it here, you're always bending over the bar. Your stomach gets creased.
You know, Bobby, I did a movie and I robbed a purse. It was a wise guy movie, and we were trying to get this mob guy, Frank Stallone's attention by planning a heist. We were going to rob this old lady's purse, and then one of the guys, Jason Bateman, was going to return the purse to get in with the wise guy. So the scene was I come and I rob this old lady's purse, and Bobby Costanza had to chase me like 2 blocks with a baseball bat, and he tell me that I'll find that clip somewhere.
No, he's beautiful. I mean, he's a force of nature.
Yeah.
You know? That's another one of those guys that you know, dear friends for a long time. Boy, and the one thing that we did, which I thought was funny, on The Nail, the story of Joey Nardone, and we filmed it right on those streets. You know, Billy, right on those streets, South Philly and everything. I probably had 100 people come up to me, said, "Hey, I knew Joey Nardone. He was an ass kicker. Joey Nardone we made him up. There was no Joey Nardone."
You know what, Leo? It's Philadelphia.
Everybody knows somebody.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
you know, hey, Tony, look, I had Tony on the show. He was part of this podcast, and we
He's
talked about, you know, I love
wonderful.
Tony.
Another dear friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've lasted.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to put something on my tombstone, put survivor.
Yeah. Only the strong survive, man. You gotta take you know, you get knocked down, you dust yourself off, you get back up, and you keep going after it.
Yeah.
You keep
Yeah,
Well,
with
that's
a
what
good
it is.
attitude.
It's not how many guys you can knock down. It's when you get knocked down, how many times you can get up.
That's it. Amen.
Amen to that.
All right, baby.
Kids,
We
listen,
good?
I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Billy, we love you too, man. It's great seeing
Yeah,
you.
it really was, babe.
But it's like, you know what the beauty is like, it's like for me, it's like I got guys in my old neighborhood that I grew up with, and I don't talk to them sometimes for 10 years. We don't, but whenever we reconnect, it's like nothing's changed. It's
It's like there was no time, right? Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
family, and that's how I feel about you guys and Bobby. You know, it's just, it's family. It's like we have a history together.
Right
Well,
back at
you know
you,
what
babe.
it is? It's a real friendship. It's not a, you know, it's not one of these Hollywood fake friendships. I mean, this is real.
And I hope the theater gets packed again when the actors are allowed to come in.
You know, I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed. I mean, I can't wait to I have class starting at, 3 hours. I'm going to be here till midnight, but it's all via Zoom. I have actors from all over the place. And,
Yeah, right.
it's great. It's,
Well, see, that's why during this, I'm talking to two guys here who do not have weight problems. The both of them probably weigh the same that they weighed when they were 22 years old. The sons of gun. Me, I look at a cheesesteak and I wear it. I gotta work out like a banshee just to have some semblance, but not you two guys.
You look great, Billy.
thank you guys. It's, this is your instrument. This is going to take care of it. You gotta, I've been real quick. I've been doing a cleanse, right? Because I realized, during this COVID time that, I was maybe putting the wrong things in my mouth, got a little soft, didn't work out as much with the holidays and stuff like that. The COVID-19, but then I realized something, and it really hit me hard is this here is my vehicle. This is my car of life. And sometimes I drive it like it's when I was a kid, a stolen car, not giving a shit if I bang it, I do donuts on a field. It doesn't matter because it's not my car, whatever. I just jump out of it and get another one. No big deal. But this is not a stolen car. And you got to put the right fuel in it. You got to polish it up. You got to treat it like a Rolls Royce. You got to shine it up. Got to put premium gasoline in it. So, I really pivoted, and now it's, I'm juicing, I'm drinking, celery juice.
I got celery juice in there right now with lemon.
Nice. Good.
But this guy Stone, he has never, and I've eaten with him all around the world, he has never finished an entire plate. He always leaves something on it.
Why is that, Joe?
Yeah.
That's the secret, man.
There you go. There's the secret.
Yeah. See?
Nice.
Nothing came down.
I love you guys. Stay
All
safe,
right, babe.
stay healthy,
Same here, Billy.
wear a mask, and I'll see you guys soon.
God bless.
Take care.
All
God bless.
good.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Please rate, review, share this with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't. Please take whatever you get from here, the golden nuggets, and apply them to your career. Go after your dreams with passion. Don't let anybody tell you it can't be done. I believe in you. Follow your dreams. I'll see you in Hollywood.